Okay. So 2 more parts. Compute the predicted rent for an apartment that is 500 square feet. I'm going to scroll that up, which is going to make my annotations go away, but that's all right. All right. So we just have G and H to do. The predicted rent. So I'm going to go back to StatCrunch and get that equation again. And I'm going to bring it back to work on. So my rent is equal to minus $399.25 plus 2.53 times my number of square feet, which will be 500 in this case. So that's going to be equal to negative 399.25 plus my calculator. $1,265 which gives us $865.75. So that's my predicted rent for a 500 square foot apartment. So you use the predictor line and just plug in the number they asked you to plug in. Now the residual. The residual is the observed Y minus the predicted Y. Y in this case is rent, so it's the observed rent minus the predicted rent for a 500 square foot apartment. So the predicted rent is $865.75. I'm afraid this is going to disappear when I go look at StatCrunch to see the real rent. Let me just grab it in here. I have it written down. Let me find it. So I don't want it to disappear. So the actual rent, if you go back to the table and look at the Y value, and I'll do that in a second, I'll show you where it is $650. So if you look in the data table, the first value for the rent, or sorry, the square footage of 500 and the rent is $650. So this is our observed rent. So my residual is going to be minus $215.75. So that means if I go back, I'm going to take a picture of this so you have it. Are there any questions on this? And show you where I got that number from. So if you look in StatCrunch, I went to find the number that has a square footage of 500. So this is my X, this is my Y. My square footage of 500 had a rent of $650. So all of these Ys are my observed Ys because they really happened. My line with plugging in X's gives me the predictors.
So are we always taking them from the first row?
The first row is usually where you find X, but it depends on what you want, what you think predicts the other thing. And what they said in this equation is just to say square footage is predicting the rent, to do it that way.
Okay.